Dobry wieczór wszystkim. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today. I'm Mysticle, and I'll be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. And let me tell you, this video is going to be one that a lot of us have been waiting for. So, as usual, you have chapters down below to skip to any specific part that might interest you the most, and with that being said, let's get right into it. First things first, Navigator is out. One of the biggest Quest changes to our UI operating system since, I would say, the Quest has launched is now here. One that you may or may not have been waiting for, and one that we actually tried to check out on livestream. Yes, we actually installed this one live during our latest livestream where we were hosting the VR Fitness Summit watch event. So in case you guys were wondering where I was for the last week, I was hosting the VR Fitness Summit with Valve VR, so make sure to check that channel out in the description, since I'm actually part of Valve VR, for those of you that didn't know. Anyway, so what happened during that live stream? Well, we actually got V77 installed, since a lot of people were also telling me that they have the latest version of V77, but they don't have Navigator yet. Not all is good. So first, let me tell you about all the new features that come with Navigator in V77, and then we'll talk a little bit about the bugs that we actually got to witness on livestream. So, first of all, the GUI, the graphical user interface, has been redesigned from the ground up. First of all, you've now got these three buttons on the bottom here. One of them will launch your app drawer, the other one will take you home, and the third one is used for your quick settings, which look miles better than what we had, but still, as Luna said, these could have been redesigned to look a little bit more modern, maybe more Android-like. By the way, whose idea was it to make separate quick settings screens on Android XR? That's something we have on phones, but it's justified on phones because they're small and they can't fit stuff. Meanwhile, on Android XR, we have infinite space where we can put things. Swiping through quick settings is not something a user wants to be doing when they're inside augmented or virtual reality. That's just really stupid. The new quick settings on the Quest. According to me, they look really nice. They have this slight opaque look to them, and they've certainly been modernized from what we've been used to. As usual, you can customize them, just like you could in previous Quest versions. That was an update that came out recently and was undocumented. And just like in previous Quest versions, you can also access the settings from here. The settings UI has also been redesigned just to make everything seem a little bit more whole. And I have seen people also hating on the new UI, so in case you're one of those people, do let me know why down in the comments section below, because I actually really like this. I think it fits the whole idea of augmented and virtual reality a lot better, and if you seriously consider the larger picture, the fact that this is the operating system that Meta wants to put on augmented and virtual reality headsets, and possibly even in the future, their augmented reality glasses, it cannot look like what it looked like in the past. That just makes absolutely no sense. This is a system, we have to remember, that Meta wants to be unified. If you think about it that way, the way they're heading for the larger picture, this is a lot better. The way we can position our windows around has also now been changed, and the notifications icons that show up, as well as the media playing icons, have all been redesigned. Everything has its own little animation, seems just a lot more fleshed out and a lot more whole. One of the biggest changes, if you ask me, the app drawer, as we now have something that I am happy to call an app drawer. What I'm unhappy about is the fact that my unknown sources apps all got uninstalled, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. No themes yet, but who knows, that is something that Meta might let us into. Really happy with the way it looks, and in augmented reality, this just seems to fit the whole idea of augmented reality a lot better. What I'm unhappy about, as during the live stream, we did run into quite a few changes. First of all, casting seems to be broken on a V77, at least for me. For those of you that watch the live stream, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Casting to anything, including official Meta sources, like the MetaQuest Developer Hub, seems to be entirely broken in V77. Even if it runs at the start, it will not continue running smoothly. This could possibly be my internet connection. There's a slight chance this might be my internet connection, but I do have a Wi-Fi 6 router in this room, and it has always been very stable, so I would be surprised if it was that, but casting seems completely unusable right now. Unknown sources apps, All of my unknown sources apps got uninstalled when updating to V77, and the weird part is I didn't even sideload this update. It actually came to me live on live stream, fully OTA, fully official, all the good stuff. So that was really weird. All my unofficial apps are gone, which is a shame because I had a lot of them, and I think they would look really nice on the new UI. I'll just reinstall them. Not a huge biggie. And overall, this is still what I would call a somewhat experimental navigation option, even though it doesn't seem to be an experimental option like we thought it might be. So this isn't something that seems you can just turn off, which kind of sucks. But hey, and I have noticed a few stutters here and there, but overall the experience has been very smooth. Do make sure to let me know your experiences with Navigator down below though, and of course whether you have actually got it. And to give you something from Luna on issues, apparently folders are having issues with Navigator. So I already submitted a bug report on this, but to anyone at Meta who reads, folders seem to be quite buggy in Navigator's library. Horizon Plus sometimes loads indefinitely, and unknown sources often fails to appear/populate between reboots, and often reads OS settings as sideloaded. So that's a pretty funky issue there. That could be what's happening to me. Maybe my unknown sources weren't actually uninstalled and they just haven't shown up yet, but I have rebooted a bunch of times and they're still not there. So I don't know what's happening. And to add on top of the confusion, apparently there are 2 variants of Navigator. As some people have informed me, it would appear that there are at least 2 variants of Navigator. The one in the quoted video might be older and differs in that it has a horizontal quick bar with pin/recent apps and a shortcut to the People app on the main interface. So yeah, the kind of images and videos that we were seeing of Navigator seem to be of an older version, and the one we have right now is the newer one. I don't think anyone actually has the older one though. I hope there are no remnants of that in the OS, as I can only imagine the bugs that would cause. Okay, now, V77 did also come with a bunch of new features, so let's talk about those a little bit. Move with your windows. You can now select windows that follow you around as you move. This update removes the need for you to consistently reset your view each time you move around your room. At this time, you can only move with one window at a time, a feature that was asked for quite a bit. Bluetooth LE audio. Bluetooth devices that support low energy audio are now supported on Meta Horizon as an experimental feature. This experimental LEA audio feature must be turned on in Bluetooth settings of your Meta Quest before you are able to use it. Very nice for them to add that. I actually saw quite a few people that were saying, oh my gosh, we've been waiting for Bluetooth LE for so long on the Quest. Well, you now have that option. I'm actually surprised it didn't come sooner, considering this is just an Android device with one of the latest Android chipsets, and older Android devices had access to Bluetooth LE. So nice for them to add it. It's just been a while, probably just not their priority. Text-to-speech is an accessibility feature that allows you to hear text spoken out loud by hovering over the text on the screen. Currently, it is only compatible with certain menus and app surfaces. Changes to name tag customization. We are making some changes to name tag customization options and will be removing name tag frames. You can still customize your name tag with stickers, and if you previously had a frame attached to your name tag, it will be removed on May 5th. New button combinations from Meta AI. People that use Meta AI have a new button shortcut to reduce accidental activations. Now you can press the Meta button and the grip button to activate Meta AI, similar to how you might use Meta and the trigger button to take a screenshot. Meta AI is an optional feature you can turn on in advanced settings. One really weird thing is I've actually seen people talking about how that shortcut doesn't work for them anymore. The shortcut to take a screenshot, of course that is. Overall, I think V77 is looking like a feature-packed, nice upgrade to our Quest devices. Very happy that Meta put it out, and I just hope that they fix all the issues that they're currently having with it. Okay, let's move on to some non-Meta news, as Apple apparently plans to release smart glasses in late 2026. This is really good news, and hopefully they're a little bit cheaper than their Apple Vision Pro. Gurman, who has a strong track record of reporting Apple products in advance of an official reveal, previously said that Apple planned the glasses for 2027, but now reports Apple is ramping up work and will aim to produce large quantities of prototypes by the end of this year. Assuming the previous timeline was accurate, Apple's accelerated plans may be in response to the breakout success of Meta's smart glasses and Google's plans to imminently enter the market with the Gemini glasses too. By the way, we've been seeing more and more videos on Google's XR headset. Super excited for that. We'll leave a few links down below in case you guys are interested. Gurman says the Apple smart glasses will have cameras, microphones, and speakers, and will be used for phone calls, music playback, live translations, turn-by-turn instructions, and multimodal AI, which Apple calls visual intelligence. Gurman previously reported that the glasses will use a new Apple-designed chipset based on the highly efficient S-series chips used in the Apple Watch with support for cameras. All in all, it sounds like a very similar device to the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, though Gurman says Apple hopes it will be better made, whatever that means. I thought the Meta glasses were actually quite well made, and trust me, I do not need my smart glasses made out of titanium and glass. Actually, scratch the second one. I want these things to be light. Good quality plastic is seriously enough. Though some within the company are concerned that its AI failings may undermine the new product, he writes. So, as usual, full article will be down below, but I am very excited to see what Apple pulls out on the market. As a lot of you might know, I'm not really an Apple user, but I'm still really excited to see what they throw out onto the market. A lot of the products that they put out, if they succeed, other companies tend to follow that, whether that's a good or a bad thing. I know every time I say that on the comment section, people get pissed, people get angry. They tell me Apple doesn't actually innovate and that they just steal things from others and then call it innovation, like wireless charging, like the app drawer, which it was actually really funny. You can say that to like a bunch of other things. But if you look at it the other way, the headphone jack, no charger in the box, the design, the way phones look nowadays, just look at the earbuds market. You can't deny that if Apple succeeds in a market, other companies are also going to follow in that direction. And even after the Vision Pro launched, companies followed. Even though that wasn't, that big of a product, that wasn't meant mass market, other companies saw, hey, this is getting a lot of attention and decided to jump onto that market. So I am very excited to see what they throw out there. Something else I'm very excited about, especially now that it supports PCVR, the PSVR 2 is now on discount, down to $350, Days of Play 2025 sale. From tomorrow, the PSVR 2 will be on sale for $350 for 2 weeks as part of Sony's Days of Play. So in case you guys have maybe been looking to buy a PlayStation VR 2, now might be your chance to do so. That's a $50 saving from the headset's regular price of $400, which it was cut to in March from its $550 launch price. The discount will be available on PlayStation Direct, as well as participating retailers. It will also apply to both the regular package and the bundle that includes Horizon Call of the Mountain, which are for some reason the same price, so you should always grab the latter if it's available. That is, of course, unless you're planning on using the thing with PCVR, in which case you'll also need to purchase the PSVR dongle to actually make it play on PC, and in which case you will probably not be purchasing those games, which I know a lot of people are doing nowadays. Either way though, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. If you like this one, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess this button works too, but let me know why down below. If you're not yet part of our community, check out Discord and the Reddit down below, where I want to see you posting your spicy memes. And thank you so much to all the patrons supporting this channel. Thank you to anyone supporting this channel. And thank you in case you're just watching. You guys are what makes all of this possible. If you want to be notified about future content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forward ding my bell. See you again in the next video. Peace.